Passing 200.
Ladies and gents, and welcome back to Cold Waters with Mags, and apologies if I'm a little croaky in the voice in this particular video. I think I'm coming down with something. So anyways, the previous mission, or previous attempt at this mission rather, did not quite go to plan, as I'm sure some of you noticed. Now, I didn't want to just save scum and not show that. I don't die very often in these campaigns. When I do, that was kind of notable, especially with how it happened. So I wanted to put that one out there, but we're going to take a second crack at that mission. So this should be exactly the same mission, and we should already know what we're facing, because it shouldn't change. However, the conditions of the battle have changed. So at the moment, it's 99, I was reading it as 98 there, 99 decibel in the water. We have no layer and we have no duck.
Ready.
So we have no layer that we can hide behind, no duck that we can use or manipulate here. Sierra 1 is heading away from us. Now let's see what we've got, and because of the extra noise, we actually can't. Yeah, that's what I'm fixing.
Helm, steady course.
We can't detect the rest, so we know it should be exactly the same lineup. We should have 2 Victor 3s, and we should have 2 Akulas in here. Now, we can only hear one of them, so that's what's changed. So, first things first. Although that actually didn't sound much like an Akula. You know what I might actually do? No, no total ray. First things first.
Make depth 4
depth.
feet, dive by.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as merchant.
Yeah, it's a merchant. I haven't detected the submarines at all. That's nasty. Don't assume you know what you know. I make a mistake if I do that. So we're going to clear the surface, make sure there's nothing else we haven't detected either.
Raise the radar mast.
Radar up. Right, merchant confirmed M1. And all scopes are clear otherwise. Right. Set depth to 150.
Make depth 150 feet, dive by.
Retract radar. Now, this one's going to be a little bit odd, because they are being very quiet straight off the bat. Nobody knows where anybody is. There's no layer to hide behind, and the ambient noise in the water is actually relatively high. So it comes down to whoever gets to detect first, gets to shoot first, gets to win. So I need them to reveal themselves. Now there's a couple of ways I could do this. There is a couple of ways I could do this. I could just sit here, total ray deployed. Once I pass, yeah, I'm deep enough now. Total ray deployed and see what I can see. That's definitely an option. And I'm probably going to do that one for a little bit. But what I might also do, if I can't get anybody to show themselves, is I might fire a string of torpedoes towards the merchant, and then have the torpedoes...
150 feet, dive by.
Cool, we are at depth. Then have the torpedoes fan out from the merchant to all the 4 compass points. And see whether or not we can get the torpedoes detected and stir somebody into attacking the torps, which will reveal their locations, and then I can swing everything to them. Alright, we have a Sierra 2 detected. Signature. We know it's a submarine because we've already cleared the surface targets. It is very low and it's heading away from us. It was actually in our baffles. We didn't pick that up until we turned. It could be one of the Vic 3s.
Con, helm, steady course.
Yeah, I think that's one of the Vic
Con
3s.
sonar,
That is
Sierra
actually a Vic.
2 is classified as submerged submarine.
So, we can't see the others. It's reading at 14 kiluyards. And we're directly behind it. This is actually a really good position to be in here. We've basically got a free shot. So I am going to run straight.
Come right to 077.
And I'm going to
helm
pump my
aye.
torps now. And I'm just going to fire them
Shoot 2-1.
forward.
Aye, sir.
Let's see what happens.
Shoot 2-3.
No
Aye,
reactions.
Shoot 2-4.
No transients
Aye,
we've
sir.
heard. Alright, first challenge done. We've got 4
Con,
torpedoes
helm,
in the water
steady
and we
course.
have not been detected. Very nice of the game to actually put us behind the fleet rather than front of it this time. So I'm going to let these get some distance. We know there's going to be 4 submarines in this group. We know what they are. I do not want to screw with these guys again because they will just ruin my day. I am only driving a Collins class here. Akulas are better. Well, what are they really the equivalent of? Vic 3s are the equivalent of a 688. A fairly modernized 688. Vic 3s are actually fairly new. Akulas sit somewhere between like a Build 3 688 and a modern Virginia. They're somewhere in that sort of a category, so I'm not playing around with shipboats here. These are some of the most dangerous machines in the ocean, and there's 4 of them versus my Collins. I would really rather them not work out where I am. Alright, so at this point, the torpedoes are far enough out, we're going to start swinging them around onto targets. Now, I'm going to bring 3 of them in. I'm going to move, which will be a bit cheeky here. We'll move 3 of them in running on waypoints, and torpedo 2 is the one we're actually going to send active. I'm going to have that engage Sierra 2. As the torpedoes are detected, they should receive counterfire, or at the very least you're going to see increases in speed, braking of silent running, you're going to see some cavitation, you're going to see countermeasures deployed, and that should be enough to actually give away their locations. They're actually running fairly shallow. In fact, the Vic is running really close to the surface. Current speed is 14 knots. We're lucky we picked him up at all, to be perfectly honest. Now, I'm not going to activate the earlier ones, because I actually want them to go deep, and I want them to get in there first, so that they stir up everything else. I'm assuming they're all going to be in this area, or at the very least, once they start hearing activity, they're going to start pinging from wherever they are. Now, that might reveal my location, but I've already got 4 torpedoes in the water, so I have some options that they won't. Alright, torpedo 2 is going active. We still don't have a reaction from these guys yet, at all. The Vic's just cruising along, towed array out. It's not doing much of anything. This is weird.
Con sonar new contact bearing 134 designated Sierra 3. Con sonar new contact bearing 135 designated Sierra 4.
Alright, we've just started getting targets activated.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Alright, 3 has acquired.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 133.
Torpedo 1 is tracking. One of our torpedoes just vanished there. I'm not entirely sure what happened, to be honest. Because Torpedo 1 is not tracking.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 132.
Alright, I'm assuming that is what I'm tracking there. That looks like the
Con
other Vic
sonar,
3.
Sierra 3 is classified as submerged submarine.
What the hell is going on here? This is some really weird. There's 2 more subs in here we just haven't got beads on. That's the only thing it can be. Alright, we'll deal with this. We need to start getting some targets out of here. So I'm going to go to 3 first. I have no idea what happened to one of my torps too. One of my torps has just
noisemaker,
vanished.
bearing 137.
No. 4. Turn.
Con, fire control,
You're going to
weapon
go for
acquired.
that one. So there's another submarine just in
Con, fire
up
control,
in
weapon
here, but
acquired.
we can't see. There's one in there,
Con
and we
sonar,
have a bead down
noisemaker,
here and
bearing
another contact that I'm assuming is down
146.
here. The only way a torpedo can go missing and us have not sunk a target is if the torpedo did impact one of these
Con
subs,
sonar, noisemaker,
but
bearing
wasn't sufficient to kill it.
130.
We should be able to see the 3D view on the Vic. Has the Vic got any damage? No, Vic hasn't got any damage.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 146.
Alright. One down. There's something in here that ate a torp, I think. And it wasn't enough to kill it. Probably whatever whatever Torpedo 1 is tracking.
Con,
Get back
fire
on the
control,
Vic.
weapon acquired.
Con sonar,
We have a
noisemaker, bearing
torpedo in the water, which is not
138.
what I'm after,
Con
and that
sonar,
looks like it's heading for
noisemaker,
us.
bearing 128.
Alright, manual control since we've got wires. Let's get rid of some of these targets so things can stop shooting at me for a moment.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar, lost contact.
second Vic's
Sierra
down.
3, last bearing 127. Contact breaking up.
Let's get tubes loaded. That should be the last of our reloads. Now I'm going to hold depth at the moment at 150 feet, even though we got a torpedo coming in. Let's go active on the torpedoes.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Alright. What are you? You have to be one of the
Con
Akulas.
sonar, Sierra 4
Yep.
is classified as
It's the
submerged
Akula.
submarine.
Yes, the Akula took the hit. Shit, they take 2 torps. They take 2 torps on Elite to deal with. That explains the disappeared
Con
torpedo.
sonar, noisemaker, bearing
Alright.
134.
Yeah, no, I'm not messing around with you, and there's one more of you in here as well, which is kind of scary. I need you removed. I need you removed immediately.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Con
Nice
sonar,
and
lost
smooth.
contact.
There we go.
Sierra
Akula's out of
4,
play.
last bearing 133.
Alright,
Come
shift
right
direction,
to
south.
181. Helm I.
I'm going to dive. Go to 20 knots.
Con
With
sonar,
that-
we are cavitating.
Yep, we will be cavitating. That's fine. We're going to disappear as quickly as
Con
we can.
sonar, lost contact. Master 1, last bearing 109. Contact faded.
Alright, we still have one Akula in here that we are going to have to deal with.
Con, torpedo room, no reloads available.
Okay,
Con
that's
sonar, no longer cavitating.
it. We're going to head south as fast as we can. We've actually got enough time to get out of the way of this torpedo, which is good. And with that Akula destroyed, this one no longer has any wire control. So this
Con,
should just
helm,
go
steady
straight
course.
and then activate on whatever its preset search pattern was, whether or not it's an
Con,
S pattern or
maneuvering,
just run
making
straight
turns
whatever it's
for
set to,
2
and it should just
0
go.
knots.
And then we have one that is down here somewhere. Or actually it's probably right in the middle of the pack here. So as soon as I've opened up enough distance to get away from this torpedo, we'll need
Come
to run
left
silent, see if we can find it.
180. Helm I.
Alright, so we are back at 500 feet. We managed to avoid that torpedo without any issues. Towed array is deployed, but we have nothing on the final Akula, so we only have one real option here. Going active.
Con sonar, switching to active search. Con sonar, new contact
Got it.
bearing 139, designated Sierra 5.
There it is.
Con
Not even-
sonar, lost contact. Sierra 5, last bearing 139, contact faded.
Alright.
Shoot 2-2.
We know this is
Aye,
going to
sir.
take 2.
Shoot 2-3. Aye, sir.
We know this is going to take 3. It'll take 2 at the very least. So 2 torps in the water. I'm going to let them run. And then once we've got them far enough, probably into the middle of the pack here, where we actually sunk these guys, we'll do another active ping again and see whether or not we can pick it up and try and guide the torpedoes based on it. That tells us our direction. So we know Sierra 5 is over here. But we don't know exactly where over here, and we don't know the distance. It could be sitting right in here. It could have been running flank the entire time and got itself out to here. We don't know. But we should be able to get a reaction out of it. Alright, so torpedoes are now past the wrecks. So we're going to start bringing them around.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Let's see what we can find.
Con sonar, regained contact
we have
on
sound
Sierra 5, bearing 134.
That's a pretty good signal. And still not clear what it is. Like, we have not got much on this
sonar,
end.
Sierra
It is the
5
Akula.
is classified as submerged submarine.
Alright, so we're going to bring 1. 2 can go directly for it. And we'll bring 3 down along the side. I'm just going to keep actively pinging. The Akula is far enough away at the moment that I don't think it'll be able to pinpoint us, even though we're active. Like, it'll be getting flickers on its sonar. It might have an approximation of where we are, but not enough to plot a direct attack. It's too far away. 21.8 kiloyards. It's actually starting to get... Well, it's not entirely out of our range, but it's getting to the point where much further than this we would have to look at other options. It's holding 15 knots as well, so it's not really listening, it's trying to leave the area. Alright, Torpedo 2 has gone active and started pinging. Now, I wanted to make sure the sonar was turned on preemptively, because eventually it's going to get far enough away that we may not be able to pinpoint the location on the Akula with our own active. So now we shouldn't run any risks of losing them. What depth is the Akula running at? So it's actually running closer to the surface. Alright, we will change depth on Torpedo 2. We'll bring it up a little bit. And this torpedo is coming right in on the Akula's baffles while she's doing 14 knots, so she may not detect this, although she should be getting the pings. And she should be able to hear the one alongside.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 5. Con sonar. Launch transient from
Right.
Sierra
Let's
5.
heard it now. I've just gone off with the
Con sonar. Switching to active search.
yeah, active search disabled.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 132.
Alright, torpedo 3. Set it up. It should go active and it should pick up the Akula as it begins to maneuver. I'm sending 3 down to match depth.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 131.
Actually, we'll turn.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
There we go. Active homing disabled. Now it's running on passive and it's already picked the Akula up. So, torpedo 2 is tracking and solid.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Con sonar.
Lane
Noisemaker
impact.
bearing 130.
No issues getting the torpedoes to land this time. That's
Con,
interesting.
fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
And that's an emergency
Con,
blow
fire
on the
control,
Akula.
weapon acquired.
She's in trouble. She's down at, what are they down at? Over 1,000 feet. And she just had a hull breach. Second torpedo coming in from the other side. That is going to be her end.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 129. Contact breaking up.
Alright, so after action report, enemy engaged. 2 Victor 3s, sunk. 2 Akulas, sunk. Total tonnage 40,000. We have 1 torpedo remaining, 1 harpoon remaining, and 1 Moss remaining. No systems damage. Experience gained 118,000. So, yeah, that went better than last time. Excellent job, Commander. Your neutralizing of this high priority target will severely reduce the enemy's ability to hinder Trans-Pacific convoys. Cinepack sends regards to you and your crew. Stand by for new orders. Convoys protected, so we get our news report here. Actually, I think we've seen that one before a couple of times. Tactical situation. Return immediately to Guam, Northern Marianas for repairs and to replenish stores. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm going to do. We have 1 torp left, and I don't really want to fight anybody else right now. Anyways, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. Cold Waters will be returning to the channel very soon, and we will be finishing this campaign. And until next time, take care.